Well, hello again. It's Peter Deegan from RSSL. I'm the lead tutor for the audit courses that we run here. What better to talk to the actual delegates on the course themselves about their experiences and how they're finding that audit learning journey. So welcome to Chris, Charles and Yogesh. So maybe first Charles, what's your experience on this course? Forget to tell the audience, we're actually on day 4. We've just had final dinner. We've got an exam tomorrow afternoon. So the course has really been quite intense. But what's your learning journey been this week, Charles?
Personally, I think my learning journey, it's been with big expectations to begin with, and those expectations have definitely been met with regards to the content of the course, the learning experience, and just the way that the course has been run in having practical aspects and pure theory, and then trying to apply that theory to the practical itself has just been so seamless, if you like, the way that we've done the learning itself.
That's good. And Chris, what's your learning journey been this week?
Well, it's been an interesting journey. I mean, it's an intense course. You start off with expectations. I'm going to be a lead auditor. I'm going to learn how to audit, and that's great. But then you really learn what it's like to start becoming a lead auditor, and the real game changer for me is the ISO 9011 standard that you learn about, and that teaches you how to structure an audit and basically takes you from start to finish, and that's fantastic. I got, a lot of theory to start with, and then once we started doing the case studies, everything just started to click for me, and I think that's the interesting part. You do so much work, and then all of a sudden, I get it. And that's really the take home of the course, and I think that's really good.
Brilliant. And Yogesh, what's your learning experience been this week?
It's been an amazing journey from day one itself. We had been put through different scenarios and different situations. In real life, we have been in those situations, and we have been acting slightly differently prior to this particular experience. But now, after learning this particular course, I know that I will be acting it totally differently, a lot more professionalism in how lead auditor should conduct. So that has been a big takeaway for me.
So break it down to me a bit more about how a lead auditor should conduct themselves. What are the standout highlight learning points from that particular experience, Yogesh?
Having my own personality and the nature, I understood straight away from the course itself, the lead auditor has to conduct themselves in a lot more professionalism. They have to behave so ethically, diplomatic. So there have been the personal behavior for the lead auditor to conduct throughout all the way from the opening meeting to the closing meeting.
Yeah. So, and Charles, Chris talked about ISO 19011. Did you know about this before? Is it a good thing? Because one of the constructs of the course, the rationale behind the development of the course and the structure of the course, is GMP tells us to audit but doesn't give us an auditing standard. So, how has 19011 changed your way of thinking about auditing?
I think coming into the course, my thoughts were, I can do an audit. I know what I'm doing. I work in a GMP environment. I must know what I'm talking about, really. But the way that the standard itself is structured, it provides us with a true framework to work through and something to stick to, even if you're in a difficult situation. And on this course, we've experienced difficult situations, and it's something to refer back to, that you've got that confidence in your own material, and that you can stay, trying to put the best way to phrase it, but you can stay in that direction in order to meet your audit objective at the end of the day. So it's a resource to be used in probably every audit that I'm going to do moving forward.
And Chris, we put a lot of emphasis, well, the standard puts a lot of emphasis on the different roles that an audit program has. We have the audit client, we have the individual responsible for managing the audit program, we've got the audit lead, we've got the audit team member. How are you going to audit differently knowing these roles and how to apply them back at base?
Well, that structure is really interesting. I work for a really small company, so it's interesting how I'm going to be able to assign those roles to individuals
Yeah.
within my company. It might be that I become both the individual responsible for the program and the lead auditor.
Yeah.
However, I'll have that accountability to hold my senior leadership team responsible and involved to sort of direct me in what I'm doing. So I think that's empowered me a little bit.
Okay, good.
And I think the responsibilities and that ability to be able to do like a first stage audit and all that kind of stuff will allow me to feed back to base quite a lot easier.
Building on stage one audit, you said something earlier this week, Yogesh, when we go, every day we have a bit of a learning review, and you said that the stage one audit requirement, it was a revelation to you. Why is it a revelation?
Absolutely. In day-to-day life, in the quality functions, we all are so busy and we do not put enough emphasis on the stage one, reviewing the auditee before actually going there, requesting the right documentation before you actually make the decision to plan the journey. That has been a biggest takeaway. Now I will be putting my emphasis on the stage one as much as I would do it to my stage two.
So how many times before did you just almost turn up at the site and then start auditing?
Every single time.
There you go.
Every single time. I have been in the situation where one of the team member have just told me that no, next week I need to go and do audit on this particular site. And on the journey, I'll just look at the audit agenda and I'll start making the plans after going there. But now it will be totally different.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's really nice to hear. And Charles, the scope of this GMP Pharmaceutical Quality Systems Lead Auditor course is ICHQ 10 and European GMPs, also with ICHQ 9. But we've learned a lot about ICHQ 10 this week. How easy is it to audit against ICHQ 10 as a standard?
I think initially through this process, if I'm honest, when I first came in, I didn't know that much about ICHQ 10. But with regards to auditing against it, it seems to be a principle within a business themselves. And to audit against that principle, if you like, it's difficult to get conclusive evidence against there. In comparison to a GMP standard where you've got clause after clause after clause, I've seen a deficiency, this is the clause. But I think with regards to ICHQ 10, and this is a massive learning point for myself and probably others that have been on the course as well, in order to get that conclusive evidence, you need to make sure you're sound in your own opinion, and you take that judgment forward and you've got conclusive evidence for it.
Yeah, objective evidence, I think
Indeed,
you'll find it.
yes, objective evidence.
So finally, Chris, for people listening on to this podcast that are considering attending our RSSL Lead Auditor courses, what's your experience? Would you advocate it?
Yeah, well, 100% I'd advocate it. I mean, I've learnt so much this week, and I think I've improved myself as an auditor because of this course. You know, side note, asterisk, it's hard. You're going to be working long days. You're probably going to be sort of questioning yourself late on a Tuesday night when it's you've been doing all that theory. But ultimately, when you have that payoff, when things start to click, when you're starting to see the way that yourself, the tutors are wanting you to see, it's unbelievable. Like your auditing career, for me, I feel much more confident going forward to do my supplier audits and whatnot. So yeah, I think it's well worth it, and I'd very much recommend anybody to do this course if they want to do auditing.
Charles?
Building on Chris's point, it's a complete perspective change with regards to audits. I think for me, it's been truly eye-opening. Yeah, moving forward, and it's things that I will take throughout the rest of my career.
Oh wow, that's fantastic. Yogesh?
Same for me. Building on to my colleagues' opinion about that, it has been an amazing journey, and I was fortunate. I only booked the course a week ago.
A week ago, yeah.
And
we
I
had a
had
quick Teams
quick-
chat to do a bit of a conference, because we offer a free consultation
Absolutely.
process now. Because we've also got the PR330 supply chain course, and sometimes it's difficult to know which one to go. And we had a quick Teams one on, and we judged that you were suitable best for this one.
Absolutely, and I think that has been the best decision to make that call actually prior to coming to this particular course, and I'm lucky that we had that particular call.
That's great. Gents, good luck in the exam tomorrow. We've got a lot of revision still to do tonight.
Absolutely.
I totally agree with Chris. This is a full-on course. Urca set of 40 hours a week, and it is a 40-hour-week course. There's
40
no
hours
doubt
and
about
then
that.
some.
And then some. And then some. But I feel confident that you're ready for the exam tomorrow. I think the process has worked well, and I thank you for your participation this week. And thanks very much for sharing your experiences so that others can consider their journey in auditing and improvement. So thanks for your time today.
Thanks very much, Peter.
Thanks very
Thanks,
much for-
Peter. Appreciate your time.